What's up?
We're back again.
We are?
Back again.
Friday?
Friday, love the Friday sessions.
They've been good chats. It's been another crazy week. In the jungle.
What's happening in the jungle?
In the jungle. Crazy jungle life.
Look, Trump is doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, man.
It looks a bit scattered, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's a strategy as well.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about how crazy he is and how like he's lost the plot and like he doesn't know what he's doing and all these things, and like on the surface everyone's right. Like I absolutely think he's a nutcase. But he's a strategic nutcase that has a absolute plan and he's nailing it down to the T. And unless you really understand the fine details of how the economy works and how resets work, this is exactly the script that allows for what he wants to happen.
I think so too, like especially the ceasefire, which I saw this week come out. And of all countries, Pakistan brokered the deal. Like,
what's with that? Do you like? Why do they get involved? Like,
look, I think because a lot of people have been saying he does the taco trade. So basically, throughout the week, things happen. Shit happens on the weekend. Markets collapse, and then all of a sudden he does a tweet just before the markets open and things spike up. So I think if he just backed out, he probably looked too much like pussy.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Let's go via our channels to try and get a diplomatic solution. And Pakistan came to the table, even though I thought they were fighting with Pakistan a few months ago.
That's right. That's what I thought as well. They were having issues with them.
Well, Pakistan was having issues with
Afghanistan or India.
Or maybe it was India.
Afghanistan, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they were arguing. So like for them to be part of this process to organise a ceasefire, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is just to play the market.
Yeah, and of course Iran had no idea about it. They had their 10-point plan from like the negotiations before, but I don't think Iran really knew much about the ceasefire.
I don't think they want. Or if you look at the news today, it looks like they're not even in the ceasefire.
No,
it looks
that's
like
right.
We've gone out of it, and oil's starting to go back up again.
Yeah,
it's I think it collapsed 2 days ago from like 110 down to 95.
Yeah, there was a pretty big drop.
Massive swing. Like billions and billions, trillions of dollars of cash, of wealth wiped out. But it looks like the ceasefire was all just
smoke and mirrors. And again, like we've seen over the last probably 6 months, it's just another tactic to manipulate the markets for whoever was informed to make bets and pull out big money.
They made it'd be in the
truckload,
it'd be in the trillions. Like when you have movements like that, which are that big and that intense, you have people that are getting stopped out. They lose money, like because you have the market where you have people going long and people going short. You make money on the way down if you short, and they would have made a ton of money on the way down, and then they would have converted and bought long and made money on the way up.
So not only are we seeing a massive financial reset, we're also just seeing the guys that are well informed make stacks of cash on the way out of this currency reset. Yeah,
look, and what's happening now is you have a lot of the countries piling their money into the New York stock market, into the American markets, into the US dollar, and to me it just sounds a bit too perfect, where you've got a war, you've got a crisis, everyone flocks to the US. What's going to happen? There's going to be a GFC, and they'll short the hell out of the market, make money on the way down, and transfer all that wealth without even going to war.
And this is the thing, like, most people, regular citizens of countries are just watching the news, seeing the bombs go off, seeing the gas prices go up. But these guys are just not even looking at the headlines, they're just waiting for the candles.
Well, you see Warren Buffett, he's got $400 billion in cash.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. Waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And he's more of a long-term type of investor.
He is.
He doesn't do the
short games
and the hedging. And
doesn't really need to, does he? Like,
well, when you have that sort of cash,
you just wait for the big moments.
Exactly. Yeah. And I remember in 2008 when the GFC happened, he bailed out. I think it was Goldman Sachs for $5 billion. They're about to go under, or some big bank. I could be wrong. And basically, if he didn't put the money in, the financial system was going to break completely because he had the cash.
So he just picks them up for dirt cheap.
He picked them up for dirt cheap, made money on the way up, and this is the rinse and repeat cycle that happens over and over.
I think we're really close as well. Like I've been saying, we're starting to see now like a lot of tokenization talk I don't know if you've noticed it, but in Iran's 10-point negotiation plan or ceasefire plan, one of their points is for the fee of their oil, which is $1 per barrel, I believe, or $2 per barrel.
The toll, you mean?
The toll,
Yep.
yeah, which is about $2 million per tanker to be paid in a stable coin. And I also saw a Bitcoin or a yuan. Mm-hmm. So they're obviously trying to get the rest of the world away from the petrodollar, which is fascinating.
Look, I think they're trying. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, I think, you know, when you are the US government and you are, you know, you have the US military and you are the reserve currency status of the world, you are going to defend that till death.
But you would only defend it if you thought that it was going to keep going. So this is, I think, the thing that not many people are really seeing clearly is that, like, I am a firm believer that Trump is getting rid of the petrodollar to bring in his new system.
So a replacement to the US dollar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to lose power, but he's going to transfer. Sorry, he's not going to lose wealth. He's going to transfer wealth, because you got to remember that, like, they're in so much debt, right? This all comes back to them being in $39 trillion of debt. We're at that 84-year cycle end. This happens every 84 years or every 20 years in the 84-year cycle, where currencies get reset. The gold standard, the Bretton Woods system, like, it's always happened. We're in that same cycle. We have more debt than ever globally and in the American economy, and we're seeing tokenization of assets come forward. So what I'm saying is that he's collapsing the petrodollar on purpose to bring in a new global reserve currency that he has, or whoever has, he's tied to complete control over.
Yeah, but that would be tied to the US dollar somehow.
Of course, yeah, but it won't be the petrodollar.
Okay. It's an interesting theory, you know, like...
Do you watch Professor Jiang?
Yes,
His predictive history?
He's good.
Man, he talks about it in much better detail than me. But, like, he's been talking about this for, like, a decade.
Because he's an ex-banker.
Yeah.
And he used to work for one of the big guys. And I like his perspectives.
Yeah.
Which is very, like, straight down the middle.
Yeah. And he knows his stuff. He's very well informed and educated and whatnot. And he said the same thing. He was like, to everyone, Trump looks absolutely insane. But what if he's meant to? What if he's meant to look insane? You got to remember, he's 84 years old, right? He doesn't care about, you know, becoming the next president. He wants his predecessor, whatever it's called, to come in next for him. Do you really think he's going to go out and try to get the presidency in 2 years or whatever, whenever it is? He'll be 86 years old.
Yeah, but I think as well, I think it's a strategy.
Of course.
It's a strategy to show that he looks all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, even the ceasefire doesn't mean they're going to stop. Like, I think this is the time when they will attack.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to be caught off guard.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's the oldest trick in the book. You've got the media pushing how crazy he is with his tweets. He's swearing now, and he's punching on with everyone. Everyone has had a fight with him.
Did you see him come out about, like, Candace Owen and all that just before on the tweets?
Yeah.
Fuck. Gave it to him.
And it looks like he's starting fires, and it looks like he's unstable.
Yeah.
And the rest of it. But I think this is the strategy of the USA.
It is. It always has been.
Always has been.
It has been. It's the same with the Iraq War. You know, they did the same thing. A little bit different with the Twin Towers and whatnot, but, you know, it's a similar type of strategy that we're seeing. And the ceasefire was, like we said, it was a complete smoke and mirrors, because Iran went and bombed Beirut.
Yeah.
You know, killing 250 odd people, which is so sad.
Israel?
Israel. Israel went and bombed Beirut. You know, like, it just goes to show, like, it's just manipulated.
Oh, and like even here back home, you had the government push through the excise reduction.
Yeah.
You know, and look, it was a good move politically, I think, to reduce it, but did it really help? No, I just saw diesel for $3.30 again. So it's like, someone's making money in between.
Yeah.
It would have probably been better for the government to leave the fuel excise on so they could collect the fuel excise and then redistribute it out to the public. But instead now they've basically got rid of the tax. The oil companies will make the gap,
Yeah.
and they'll just keep it.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to go up anyway. What I'm really confused about is we've heard nothing about oil prices this whole week on the news.
No one's talking about
I don't know if you noticed that. You noticed that?
I did. Like, no one's talking about it,
No one.
or a lot less. You know,
It was on the news like morning, afternoon, and night. Oil prices, oil prices, oil prices. The last time I saw something about oil prices was Tuesday. But since then, nothing. We had the guy that looks after energy stocks, well, I can't remember his name. He came out and did like a full COVID thing. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh,
It was a
yes,
midday Tuesday fucking stock take of how much oil we have. And I was like, oh, this looks familiar. Here we go.
It's just another playbook.
It is, and I think it's a bit of conditioning involved too, getting us ready for maybe what's to come. But we'll see.
Well, yeah, we saw on the radio on 2GB. I saw just before school holidays started, they told the teachers were told to go home and take all their stuff just in case.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just in case they had to do homeschool.
Wow.
So
Yeah, right.
and I'm sure the government, whether it's state government or federal government, they must have contingency plans
Of course.
for what's going to happen next.
We haven't spoken about Albo's little presentation.
Oh, the flop of a presentation. I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm sure heaps of Aussies were sitting at home.
I totally can't believe it.
I was like
he's just
sitting
fucking useless.
You know, I sat there, I was waiting just before dinner. I was sitting there going, okay, cool, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And he gave a waffle.
Waffle
Absolute
before Easter.
waffle.
Yeah.
A waffle presentation that didn't address anything.
Nothing. It was do the Australian thing. Don't take too much petrol. That's
Big
it.
car.
Yeah.
Big car.
Go and enjoy your Easter.
Yeah.
Thanks, principal. I felt like I was back at school. You know, when the principal does an announcement and it's fucking just for nothing.
But like the whole of Australia was watching that.
The whole of Australia.
And it's like...
And the news were like, oh, you know, this hasn't been done since the Bob Card Day, whatever his name is.
Well, it wasn't done since COVID.
Yeah.
As well. And it's like they did that and they made such a big thing out of it and then nothing happened.
But again, it's an interesting thing to bring up. Like, it's just that little hint of like, this is where we're going. You know, we'll make an announcement. We'll just keep everyone calm. Tell them it's all good. Go and enjoy your Easter. Mm-hmm. Then old mate comes out on the Tuesday and says how much we have left in fuel and diesel and whatever, and then we hear nothing. And then next week, what do we hear?
Yeah.
You know, it's the same playbook we saw with COVID, and fingers crossed they don't start doing that shit again. But I don't know. It feels familiar.
It does.
It does.
And like a lot of people that are going overseas to travel now, like, would you go? You know, you'd probably be sitting there going,
You'd
well,
be pretty worried.
yeah, like you'd be like, okay, I might be able to get there, but if things escalate, I'm stuck.
You're stuck.
You're stuck, and then I've heard people had to pay like 25k to get back.
Well, they remember they did that with COVID. You had to pay massive amounts of money to get on a flight.
Yeah.
Then you had to stay in a hotel room. We wouldn't have to do that again, but oh man.
But
it's,
like, yeah, like especially the European holidays, like this
they're
time
coming up. Well, we're in April. Yeah.
So it's like, would you go overseas? You know, probably not. You'd probably go to Asia instead. Or,
Yeah.
Or, you know, to Bali or, you know, somewhere in Asia, just because you don't have to go through the Middle East. So it could be a possibility. But yeah, I think if you're going to be traveling this year, you're going to be careful.
I spoke to one of our clients at the gym, and she went recently 2 weeks ago. They went over towards Amsterdam. They actually had to go through like America
The other way.
the other way. So it was a 40-hour round trip.
Hurts.
Hurts.
It's a long one.
Yeah, they had like an 8-hour stopover somewhere.
Because even your insurance policy,
Yeah,
travel insurance,
doesn't cover.
does not cover acts of war.
Yeah,
So you're stuck. You're literally stuck. You're stuck not at home. You probably have to pay exorbitant prices for hotels. You're just stuck. Like, you can't do anything.
good thing we went to Europe last year. Nah, but it's shit. Like, it sucks. I mean, we can sit here and kind of laugh about it, but like, you know, we know as business owners what it was like to go through COVID.
Oh, it sucked.
And this is I said this last week, it's just so different because we're talking about energy, oil, like it affects absolutely everything you know, and I don't know what the government handouts are going to be like, but when you're looking at something on a scale like this that affects so much, especially food.
Well, food is a big one. I think it's going to catch everyone off guard.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have heaps of companies now, which they have to. They're going to push fuel levies out to their customers, and naturally that's going to get passed on to the consumer, and it's going to flow on to Aussies at home.
Yeah.
You know, to pay for food and groceries and all that stuff. So, you know, I think people are starting to get cautious.
Yeah.
There's a bit of fear, and everyone's talking about that this is going to last, you know, a couple of weeks. But the reality is, even if the Strait gets open tomorrow, this is going to take 3 months to get back to normal. That's assuming nothing is going to go wrong.
Yeah, and it doesn't really feel like we're anywhere near the end of this saga, because there's still issues in Lebanon, there's still issues in Ukraine and Russia. You know, no one's talking about Russia and Ukraine anymore. It's like a distant memory, but that war is like pumping, you know, and that affects oil prices as well. Then you've got the China and Taiwan tensions that could kick off at any second. You've got the US and Cuba,
which is
right,
another big one.
And then you've got Trump, who's talking about leaving NATO. So there is a massive domino effect to this. It's not just Iran, and I've been saying this for a long time, that if you look at all of these trigger points, they just accumulate and they have a domino effect and they lead into other issues.
Look, I think the whole NATO thing is going to be a big one. I don't think the US will leave it.
You don't?
Look, I think there's going to be a lot of posturing.
I think Trump's really pissed off that no one helped him.
And I think that was part of his strategy as well, to see who was going to help him, you know, with all of this stuff. Because
no one did.
No one did. And I saw him say the other day, he's like, well, either you go get the oil yourself and don't rely on us, or you come and buy the oil from us. So either way, the US is going to be fine. But, you know, it's up to those countries to see who their friends are.
Yeah.
You know? And like there's talks now as well that Europe is going to go buy oil from Russia.
I was literally just about to bring that up.
And it's like, weren't you guys just fighting a second ago about Ukraine, about Russia going into Ukraine, and now you're going to go buy oil from Russia, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, now you can start to see where necessities come from.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yes, you know, situations happen, there's wars that happen, but now it's like they need energy. So who are they going to pick? Are they going to get energy from Trump, who they dislike, who's the, you know, one of the heads of NATO, or are they going to go to Russia? That's basically what Europe has. They're the options.
Well, I know that there is a deal on the table between the US and the EU worth $750 billion over the next 3 years for gas. And so I think part of this ceasefire plan was actually a strategy to get the deal signed before escalating the war.
It does make sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. So if the EU signed a deal with Trump and the US for the next 3 years, all of a sudden you've got Trump, who wasn't exporting much energy, who is now exporting so much energy over to the EU. And you can see how things are really changing, which means in terms of like where people are buying and selling their energy, which means alliances change.
Of course.
So
and I think you're right. I think the whole NATO thing is for energy security. You know, that's what it's coming down to.
Well, it was, wasn't it? Because the US would guarantee, you know, in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. But if that's no longer there, which we hope doesn't happen, but if it does happen, where do they go? And you said it's either Russia or Trump.
Or Trump, that's it. You know, and it sort of makes sense as well in terms of why he went to Venezuela first.
Absolutely.
You know, if you look at now at the playbook that he's going through, it's like, he had to go to Venezuela first. It looks like a good plan.
He's just lining his pockets with energy. And there's even talks, we know that he wants Greenland. That's still on the table for sure. And he's even talking about making Canada a 51st state. And Canada has another huge reserve of oil.
They do,
So he's lining his pockets with oil and earth minerals, rare earth minerals. Where does Australia go?
Look, Australia is, you know, geographically we are really far. That's the problem. You know, but in saying that,
it's also a good thing.
It's a good thing because, you know, we're an island. We're sort of sheltered from all of this stuff. But our number one exporter is probably going to be Asia.
Yeah.
China, who's going to buy the energy. And I know Albo's in Japan now trying to sell off gas, but these are not the times to negotiate big deals like this, because you basically have to pull your pants down. This is not the time to negotiate.
Yeah, take a cut.
It's like, should he be going to Trump and go, hey, because I think there was a big deal about 3 or 4 months ago for rare earth metals with Albo and Trump. Albo went to the
that was a while ago. Yeah.
That was a while ago. So now this is the time to call on that fab.
Yeah.
Go to Trump and go, hey, we need oil. Send. This is not the time to negotiate with.
Do you think that's the long-term plan though? Like, do you? I think so. Now that you say that out loud, I'm thinking like Albo's going to go to Singapore and Japan and have those chats and make it look like he's looking for an alternative.
Yes.
But really, we know where he's going.
Yeah.
He's going to go to Trump.
Yeah.
But I think that if he goes straight to Trump, he gets a lot of people offside.
I think so too.
Because there's a lot of the Palestine thing and Israel and all that, the terror attack that happened. If he goes straight to Trump, is it going to look like he's taken the side of
100%?
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's doing. So I don't think much is going to come out of going to Asia.
No.
Like he's going to sell more to Japan. I think we do a lot of trade with Japan. It makes sense because Japan's very tight with the US as well in terms of the carry trade, US dollar usage, and the rest of it. So it does make sense they're going to sell to Japan. It doesn't really make sense they're going to sell to maybe to China or to Vietnam or to Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because it's not really aligned with maybe the strategic point of view of the US.
China gets most of its oil, or all of its oil, from Iran, right?
Iran,
or Russia. And Russia.
Russia, Iran.
Yeah.
I think the Saudis as well. I think India's also pumping oil there too.
Yeah.
But India's pumping oil, I think, via Russia. That's sort of what's going on.
I see.
To bypass the sanctions.
So, like, how does this affect China? Because we know that, like, the US and China are kind of butting heads for that superpower role. Like, do you think there is some sort of strategy to devalue China's economy or bring it down through this?
I think this was the strategy all along.
You think so?
I think the strategy all along was to try and get China offside.
There's obviously, there's a lot of strategies.
Yeah. But I think one of the main strategies
one of them,
would be they're trying to go head to head with China.
Yeah.
And China imports most of its energy. So if the US can now to basically secure the energy supply, then they have control of China effectively, in a way. And if you look at...
So really, like, sorry to interrupt, but really, like, if you look at it, it seems as though Putin and Trump are in, like, the best seat in terms of distribution.
It does look like that, and Venezuela's biggest buyer was China.
Yeah.
The biggest buyer of uranium and oil was China. Russia, biggest customer is China.
I wonder if Putin and Trump have just gone, hey, let's just undercut China and.
Well, I think that was probably the bigger play.
Because they were having meetings a lot.
And if you think about it, you got Iran, Venezuela, and Russia also into China. Venezuela's out now. Iran, we're having the dramas that are going on.
You can't get in and out, whatever.
So really, you've just got Russia. So is it a bigger play against the Chinese? It could be. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible at this stage.
But China as well has also been very proactive in trying to get off oil, solar panels.
Yeah, a lot of EVs as well.
But the thing is,
you can't completely.
There's so many people.
Yeah.
Like they haven't been able to transition fast enough to get off oil. They need the oil.
Yeah.
And where China also excels, it's the refinement of the oil. So they basically get oil from wherever, they refine it, and like Australia's biggest so Australia buys a lot of jet fuel from China because
they refine it.
They refine it. So that's where China has like the factories and the manufacturing. They have that base to basically process the fuels before we buy it, which is what we don't have.
A place we haven't really spoken about too much is Europe. Like, Europe's in a pretty tough spot. So a lot of their prices, like, we think oil is expensive here, but I know their gas prices are through the roof.
They're through the roof because there was that big pipeline. That was between them and Russia.
Yeah, Russian. Yeah, yeah.
They had that one, and then it got blown up all of a sudden.
And now you got Iran.
Yeah,
with oil.
So it's a double whammy for the European economy.
They're getting hammered. They have to go with Trump, really.
Well,
they're backed into a corner.
If you think about it, like, what are the options?
They've got,
Russia or Trump?
Well, you've got Russia who's invading Ukraine, and the word on the street is he's coming for Europe. So if you sign a deal with him, you're just funding the war machine.
Which is exactly what you were going against for the last 3 or 4 years.
Correct.
You know, so it's like...
So if they sign with Putin, Europeans are going to lose their mind.
Well, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because which pill do you take? The orange man, or are you going to take... right?
Fuck.
You know, so...
Man, the lesser of two evils, isn't it?
Well, they will definitely go with Trump because they've still got NATO, and like you've still got like American tech that's
so
big in Europe as well.
And maybe that's kind of Trump's ploy with pulling out of NATO is like, I'm going to pull out of NATO if you don't sign the deal.
So, you know...
He's a smart guy, man.
Man, look, you don't become a billionaire or that and become president or all the rest of it if you don't know what you're doing.
And you don't build the strongest military in the world for no reason.
You know,
and use it to your advantage.
He's pumping. I think they want to increase the military budget to 1.5 trillion. Like that's the plan over the next few months or a few years. And the thing is, what that does is it puts more money into America to then invest in tech. You know, the AI boom. You got military. Like all of this stuff usually starts from military. You know, because you have the money, you have the investment to do the research and development, to then go test out all these different types of machinery, and that's how it happens.
The other interesting area to look at is Israel. Like, we don't really talk about Israel much because it's like Trump's always on TV. You got Netanyahu saying a few things and he's bombing Lebanon for God knows why. Well, Hezbollah.
No, that's what they're saying.
Hezbollah. But it's like, what is their role? And I know there's a lot of conspiracy out there about, you know, Epstein and him being part of, you know, Israel and whatever, and having, you know, a lot of stuff on politicians, especially Trump. You know, like, because you got to look at it and go, like, why is Trump just going in so much for them as well?
Well, you saw Melania Trump come out today saying that she knew Epstein or something.
Of course you did. Your husband was there partying with the bloke.
Agree, but I also see it from a different perspective. It's like no one's talking about Epstein for the last few weeks, like since this has started.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we're talking about Epstein again. It's like they're trying to bring the attention back to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's literally just your head just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the most important thing to look at is the long-term game that they're playing. Because if you're looking just back and forth, you never see it.
Well, this is why inflation is going to be out of control. If fuel stays where it is, you know, we're gonna go into a recession.
I don't think it stays where it is. I think it goes to 150, 200 bucks a barrel.
Look, it definitely could. It just depends how long they close it. It depends how far the war escalates.
Well, the Strait's closed again.
It's closed again as of today, yeah.
So no ships have gone through, right, for 40 days. And I read somewhere that a tanker takes 2 to 3 months to get to its destination, depending on where it is. So if you think about it, we're really only just probably coming to the end of receiving the tankers that left 2 to 3 months ago.
This is true. Like I was looking at the futures as well. So the futures market is where you go buy stuff for, like it sounds, in the future, but you lock the price in now. It's basically a derivative that you lock in the price. So the derivative price or the fuel price for December delivery is sitting about 150 to 175 US a barrel.
Really?
At the moment.
Oh shit.
So this is why everything's sort of jumped up really quick in terms of fuel prices, you know, at the petrol stations. And this is why the governments are getting prepared for what's coming, because
that says it all.
You know, of course, if the war becomes or finishes or it stops, that will crash, and whoever's buying fuel at 175 a barrel today, in December 2025 is going to lose a lot of money. But that, you know, if you're going to think of companies, you know, think of big organisations, manufacturers, they need to lock in prices now to guarantee their supply to function. You know, and that's why you have futures markets to buy fuel in the future. So, yeah, that's what's scaring people. The futures market is where people are like, well, is it going to be 175 in December? Or okay, maybe not 175, it could be 140.
It's going to be like either up there or down here. Like, there's no in between. But I think it goes up. Yeah, crazy, man.
It's insane.
It's a bit scary.
Yeah, look, you just got to be prepared.
You do.
You know, and I've had a lot of people I've spoken to over the last week or so either got made redundant or are looking to leave to find a new job, but they can't find a new job, going through interviews and doing all of that. It's because now businesses, companies, business owners as well are thinking, well, just like what everyone else is thinking. It's like, well, if the price of petrol is going to go up to $4, I need to drive less. I need to work from home. I need to, buy a different type of
looking for
brand.
safer options.
So companies will have to do that as well. Looking forward, looking ahead. It's like, well, do we need to hire that person, or do we need to expand the team, or would we just wait to see what happens? And that's the position where nobody wants to be in, where nobody knows. The uncertainty is what kills markets.
Well, nobody knows, and then people are forced to make decisions. I spoke to a business owner that's had their business for 25 years. Closing it. 25 years.
If they've been around for 25 years, they've seen it. They've seen all the cycles.
They've been through it, and they know. And she even said to me, she goes, I feel like this is probably going to be the worst of them that we've been through.
Well, the debt levels at the moment are ridiculous.
Yeah, and the unemployment levels are really high. So I saw there was a stat, it's about 5,500 jobs lost a day in the US, and only 3,200 being made.
So the US is going through an AI boom. I think the last company I heard was Oracle. They just fired like 30,000 people.
Yeah.
In an email in the morning. So they sent an email at 6 a.m. I think it was on a Friday. You're no longer required. Like, you're gone. It's like they're high-paying tech jobs. No longer required.
It's like 150 grand a year, 100 grand a year.
I think closer to home.
And if you've got a job in that field and you've been doing it your whole life, like, where do you go? Pizza shop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's sad. Like, it sucks because, like, those people who've been working their whole lives in that industry, gone.
And even closer to home, Bendigo Bank yesterday announced a few thousand jobs to be gone.
Well, banks are empty now.
To AI, and like they said, it's going to be like a $70 million per year saving.
I'd imagine Coles, Woolies, like even the guys that stock the shelves, they'll be replaced with fucking robots.
Eventually.
Well, Amazon's got factories that have no people in it.
Which is, like, I've seen them on YouTube. It's like, man, like, that's insane.
There's also, I think, an Amazon-owned grocer in the UK that has no one in it. So you walk in, you've got a card, you scan the card when you walk in, and then you fill up your basket, you put the basket in the thing, you scan it, and it does the calculation of all the food items in there through AI, and then you walk out.
They have it at Woolies, and you go with the trolley. It's got a computer.
They do too.
And you scan it.
They've had it in the UK for years, so wow.
And then even if you go into to Tesla, there's no more, I think, Model S's or X's.
The Teslas.
They're all gone.
They had 100% increase in sales.
But not only that, they're not building them anymore because it's all automated Teslas are coming out.
That's crazy.
So it's like, because I saw a post from Elon on Twitter, on X, saying there's only a few hundred of these models left in the world because they stopped production.
End of the year robots come out.
They've already started.
But they actually go out for sale at the end of this year.
Oh, you and I are buying one.
At the end of this year, they go, like, robots are going for sale. Yeah. $20,000 you can buy your own robot.
Done. I'll buy one straight away.
What would you get it to do?
Just washing the dishes. Washing the dishes.
Hope they're waterproof.
But my one's going to live outside.
Oh, yeah, in a cage.
It's going to live outside. Because it's not going to be watching me when I sleep. It's going to be outside, under the shelter there. Protect. Bro.
Crazy times. Anyway, but the Iran war, you think it's going to be over soon?
No.
You changed your mind.
No, look.
Remember, I've been asking you this phase. You're like, yeah, they'll make a deal.
Look, I still think they're going to make a deal, and it's going to be a deal where Iran wins and so does the US. Because they're both losing money at this rate.
Iran's currency's smashed.
Oh, Iran's currency is in the toilet at the moment.
Gone.
But in saying that, they're all making a lot of money from the oil prices being elevated.
Yeah.
So, I think, that everyone wants to get back to normal. Everyone wants to get on with their lives. And I think they will make a deal eventually, the both of them. They'll come to the table, whatever deal they make. But it's going to take a bit longer.
Yeah. Look, I hope it's over soon. I really do. I know I've been saying that this is going to carry on for years, and unfortunately that's just the feeling I get, but fingers are crossed that it's over soon, and we can just go back to normal and oil can come down and and everyone can just get on with their lives.
That's it.
Yeah. Till next week.
Till next week.
See you then.
Catch ya.
Bye.